my favorite is Obama's just one man. The president doesn't have that much power. It's the Congress blocked him at every turn. You can't just turn America's like a big tanker ship. You can't just turn it all at once. You got to turn it slowly. Well, he didn't turn it at all.
Right.
But even his big achievement.
It'd be one thing if he actually was in there trying and failing, really trying, like really getting out there, pounding the pavement, getting out there using the bully pulpit, rallying people, fighting his own party. It'd be totally different if he had taken an FDR-like approach. Exactly. But that's not what he did. So don't tell me nothing about he tried, but he didn't do nothing. No, he didn't even try.
Well, he had 730 days of a supermajority in Congress and couldn't get things passed. Really?
And honestly, he lost that supermajority because he couldn't get things passed. It's like the effects of the Obama presidency, not the quote unquote white lash. I'm gonna stop saying quote unquote, not the white lash that as Van Jones called it, but the economic effects. The economics effect of the Obama presidency, the neoconservative effects of the Obama policies, were felt all over America, but were not necessarily represented in the mainstream news. They were so in love with Obama's family, his dog, his dancing, wondering whether or not Malia was smoking marijuana at South by Southwest, that they failed to keep their pulse on the finger of what was actually going on. And they focused on these mythical job numbers, these mythical unemployment numbers. These mythical, they're not mythical, they're real, but they're purposely inflated and misrepresentative of what's going on in America. And they constructed this very, very neat bubble for themselves where Obama was an amazing president and anyone who didn't like him was simply racist, just like anyone who didn't like Clinton was simply sexist. And people don't like hearing that when their water isn't clean.
Well, that's exactly.
People don't like, and this is the problem with the Democratic Party, and not one of their many problems, that they want to tell you that your life is getting better when it is obviously not true. And the Republicans don't suffer from that problem because they always tell you life sucks. They're like, everything's bad all the time. It's the fault of the Mexicans. So you got to vote for me. But the Democratic Party, especially in this last election, it became, well, America's fine and everything's fine. And because we're in charge, but we're not really in charge, because if we're really in charge, we do good things, but we have some power, but that's what the Republicans are stopping us from doing anything good. And honestly, his lack of mobility in those first 2 years cost him a lot of votes. And that's why he lost supermajority, because what's the difference really?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to move on. I just want to make a point real quick that Flint's water has been undrinkable the entire time Obama's been in office, but nobody looks to say that. And I hate that I'm going to say this because it's going to sound like I'm defending Trump, which I absolutely am not doing. But people love to share this meme of a little girl in Flint hugging Obama and so happy to see Obama and absolutely recoiling, and rightly so, from Donald Trump. But this Flint water crisis has happened under Obama's watch. It's happened under the federal government's watch that he's been the head of. He could have used his bully pulpit. He could have done something to help out. But people attribute the Flint water crisis, rightly so as well, to Snyder, the governor of Michigan, but completely absolve these infrastructure failings that are happening under the Obama administration. For some reason, he gets a pass for crumbling infrastructure where we lambasted George W. Bush for the same exact issue.
So let's talk about that too. So, Flint, Michigan is obviously also a case of just institutional and environmental and infrastructural racism. Obama failed on racism. And I know people say, well, he's not just the black people's president. It's just like, well, racism has structural effects as well. Police brutality should show you that.
Right.
But he never once spoke out. And so this is where we talk about Obama being a precursor to Trump. Obama's history and rhetoric on race was very, very flat and very, very sparse. And he always played that very, very dangerous middle ground of, lending credence to the notion that the police were anything other than incredibly flawed in America. He played the middle throughout the whole thing. He played that reasonable adult. I think that's why a lot of people like him, because his temperament is so reasonable. But being a reasonable man in unreasonable times does not win you any votes. It doesn't win you any favor. It doesn't change people. It doesn't change people's reality, and that was simply the case for a lot of people. I think a lot of people stayed home. They voted for Obama. They liked Obama from a personal standpoint, but they did not like Obama's policies. And when they were offered Obama's policies under a different face, which was just Clinton, they're like, nah, no, thank you.
Well, wait. Let's be clear. None of us even know Obama. What they didn't like Obama. They liked the image of Obama that was plastered on TV and fed to them as if it really meant something. You don't vote for a politician based off of that image. You vote for him based off of policy. It's an exchange. What can he do for you? And if he's not doing anything for you because he either doesn't want to or because he just can't, you need to get somebody in that spot that knows how to do something for somebody, because that's what they're there for.